Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Virgo energy. And for this round of the 12 zodiac signs, I'm using the oracle deck called Zodiac 108 by Intuit Oracle. And we're going to get some of these out. We'll maybe get some clarifiers on it to fill out the story of what might be going on in Virgo energy right now. And because people have free will in the world, people could harness these energies in a high vibe way or a low vibe way. You know, high vibe way is just people who've gone within to deal with their past pain and heartbreak so that their past pain isn't dictating their decisions, that they choose to be in life-giving energy of love and hope and faith and belief instead of fear or insecurity or pride or ego and self-defensiveness. And shadowy Libra or shadowy Virgo energy, maybe some of you are dealing with a Libra, shadowy Virgo energy can be people who just haven't done that self-reflective work. It's kind of like the difference between living consciously and living unconsciously. Still caught up in the illusions of the world, thinking all the purpose to life is money and materialism and status and image, and maybe don't think there is any other higher purpose or justice or truth to aspire to. Am I? Okay. We're going to use these cards. Let's see what we got. The bottom of the deck, the reason for the reading is the checkered flag. I see that as the reason for the reading and also the end of the reading. Checkered flag could mean that something ended, you know, a race came to an end, or a phase of your life came to an end, or you accomplished something. But it could just be something ended. So we have the sun, or the yes card, reminds me of the sun card, a new beginning. Fine print, happening soon, shield, kerosene, and master. Interesting. Well, right off the bat, what it makes me think is something ended. You had a new beginning. You, in your Virgo nature, because Virgo can be that aspect of ourselves that really pays attention to the details of life and self-reflects and stuff like that. So you are really looking at the fine print. Happening soon. Something might come up soon where someone defensive might appear on your path, or you realize that you really maybe need to stand up for yourself and have good boundaries or protect what you have in your future. You know, we've all got to protect ourselves against our pride and ego. And our prideful, egotistical, fearful, insecure nature is always, it's kind of like the lion roaring around the perimeter to see what it can devour. That's kind of what our shadow nature is like. It's always kind of paying attention in the background to pick up on our weaknesses, our fears, our insecurities. And then there can be people in the world who are like that too. And if we don't want to fall to temptation in our ego or our fear or our lust or our greed or our immaturity, and people like that, we need to make sure we're paying attention to the details of our own life, because people like that and our ego are always looking at the details, and we have to stand up for ourselves if we don't want things to blow up. Maybe the masterpiece that we've been trying to create in our life, and you know, to let our more fearful, insecure, immature, indulgent nature know that I'm not repeating those patterns of behavior anymore in my life. I've learned my lessons from them. And if anyone shadowy or defensive tries to, or you could even be in a new beginning with someone, and maybe that person or at that job or whatever, you can see that people are starting to be defensive. Maybe they're defensive to taking creative, inspired action and being bold and brave and confident, trusting and believing in people. And you're like, hey, I've been there, I've done that. You know? Because again, we can get in relationships with people And we all can have our fears or insecurities because we all kind of repeat these relationship patterns. And if something pops up in your life where someone tries to stop you from manifesting your dream relationships into reality because they want to stop you and like indulge in a relationship with you without, lighting the fire to be bold and creative in love and mastering it, it's like, this is over. I'm not going to be in a relationship that's just about indulging. That could be. Some other people who are in shadowy energy who are repeating patterns, I don't know. I'm just really curious. Let's get some clarifiers on here. Tell us about the Yes card. Six of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands, Knight of Swords, the Virgo card, Knight of Pentacles, because of Seven of Cups. You could have been in a relationship and you realized you had to stand up for yourself, or you will. The Yes card and the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy, which can do with relationships and workplaces and things like that. You could have walked away from one situation because you found it, either the people were presenting an illusion, they weren't really being open and authentic and loving and just and fair and all that, or it wasn't really aligned with maybe your truth or something if it was a job. But you could have walked away from something that you'd invested in emotionally in order to get in a different relationship or job. It maybe has been stressful and felt overwhelming, but in the Yes card, you're aligning with truth and love, and you're defensive to letting your fear or insecurity overwhelm you to the point that you would repeat past patterns. And you're saying, no, I'm going to give it everything I've got to not get caught up in my mind about my fears or insecurities. And if there's a part of me that feels overwhelmed, that wants to return to maybe living more in my mind than my heart and living a life of illusion, basically letting my mind or my ego or my fear win, I'm going to speak the truth to myself and keep aligning and going within to gain the insight and wisdom I need about my past or my fears and my insecurities so that I can keep moving forward to bring my long-term goals into reality. And I'm going to walk away from getting caught up in illusion and fear, and I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep putting in, if we don't want to repeat patterns of behavior of getting caught up in our fear, our insecurity, our pride, our ego, our stubbornness, we can't give up. We have to give it everything we've got to keep moving forward in truth, being practical, being grounded, taking those steps every day to keep moving forward and moving our life in the direction we want to keep moving it forward to. And then we have the fine print. If you had been in one job or relationship that, I don't know, it just caused you a lot of stress, and maybe the person you'd been in a relationship or the workplace was just really overwhelming, and maybe they were defensive to gaining insight and wisdom and learning and growing and maturing themselves, you could have decided, I'm not staying in this anymore. It's time to walk away. I deserve to be in life-giving energy. I deserve to be in relationships and friendships and workplaces where people are encouraging and supportive and nurturing, not defensive to change, who want to keep, want me to stay in an illusion with them that this is okay. It's like, this is not okay. I am not doing it anymore. So with the fine print card, you know, again, I would think you went within, because the last card here was the Knight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. You invested in, also the person's reading a book, maybe to educate yourself, to, you know, the Six of Wands overcomes the Five of Wands, and both the Five and Six of Wands are Leo energy, which can be our ego, our fear, our insecurities. I think you invested time, energy, and effort to get over your inner conflict so that you could feel proud of yourself. If part of that meant that you had to walk away from other people who are really stressed and overwhelmed, to keep investing in their illusions of how they view relationships or workplaces, and maybe they're competitive because the Six of Wands also moves away from the Five of Wands. That could be people who are very competitive in the world, people who have a lot of inner conflict. You know, you have a dream and you want your dream to come into reality, and you are listening to your intuition in the Pisces moon card to guide you forward, and you're willing to take that creative inspired action to listen to your intuition to guide you, because your intuition was given to you as a gift, just like your eyesight and your hearing. And maybe also really getting clear about what kind of dream do I want to bring into reality in a workplace or relationships or friendships. You could have thought something seemed great back here, but when either you or the person or people you were dealing with are really stressed and overwhelmed, maybe even about speaking the truth, because we have people here in the Ten of Wands that are moving away from speaking the truth, fighting for the truth, and investing in moving forward in their life. So maybe they like to repeat patterns of behavior in a relationship, and they just think, isn't that the way life is supposed to be? Aren't we supposed to do the things we've always done, and the way I grew up and the way people do it, or the way I've always done relationships? Like, you can, unless you get tired of it and you're willing to fight for your dreams, and you're willing to invest time, effort, and energy into seeing why you keep settling for doing the same old thing over and over. Are you unwilling to learn lessons in life? To admit that you have lessons to learn, to grow and mature yourself? Would it require you to detach from other people in their life that they view as emotional options? Because the Seven of Cups can mean you view someone as an emotional option. Maybe they view people as options. The Six of Pentacles can be, who am I going to exchange time, energy, effort, hugs, and kisses with? Oh, people who speak the truth and grow and mature themselves? No, that's overwhelming. I think I'll just go find someone else to go get in a relationship with. You know, some people aren't ready to speak the truth. Some people aren't willing to detach from old ways of being to grow and mature themselves, because it does mean you have to be willing to self-reflect and see the truth about things you hadn't wanted to see. To be able to be willing to fight for your dreams. Some people have given up on their dreams. They're just going to live a life of an illusion. Six of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and shadow can be people who are like, I want to do the status quo. You know, I don't want to speak the truth. I don't want to be the person who tries to shed light on the truth and grow and change humanity, one person, one relationship, one workplace at a time. I want to conform to society. I want to do what everybody else is doing, you know? Or I want to make my life more about, isn't life about money and materialism and status and image? I don't think it's about fighting for the truth. I don't think it's about growing and maturing. Aren't we just supposed to do what everybody else in the world does? You know, could be those things. Anyway, that wasn't your dream life. So even though you caused you inner conflict, you took creative inspired action to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, because the moon talks about moving into unknown territory where you can't see everything. And you listen to your intuition to guide you. And then we have the happening soon card. The Justice card, the King of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Well, the Justice card is a major arcana card that by doing this and taking this action in your life, even if it's fighting off your own fears and insecurities or moving and distancing yourself from other people who don't have the same dream as you do, or they're not willing to put in the work and effort towards it, you're bringing justice to the situation. Because being in a relationship with people who are defensive to growing and maturing themselves, to investing in getting out of their pride and ego and willing to move forward in life and quit repeating patterns, it's like they stay in stuck energy that there's nothing new to grow there, but they keep staying in it anyway, maybe because of their fears and insecurities. So whatever it is, you're bringing, that was an injustice. And for you to be in your fear or your pride or your ego or whatever, or staying in a relationship with other people like that, was an injustice. And you brought justice to the situation by taking action, because the kings in the world, or the kings in tarot, talk about us taking action in the world, and we all take action in masculine energy. You took action out of love for yourself, operating in the Three of Cups, Cancer energy, love of self, belief in love, having a dream of relationships being based on love. You took action to educate yourself. The Knight of Wands and Sagittarius energy is about higher education, educating yourself about philosophies and belief systems so you can wrap your brain around this emotionally confusing game of life. And part of growing up and maturing ourselves is out of love and respect for ourselves. I'm not going to let myself take impulsive, reckless action based on lust, greed, fear, insecurity, immaturity, indulgence. My sense of wanting balance in my life, I'm not going to let my more immature, impulsive nature run my life out of love and wanting to take action out of love instead of maybe being a player or indulging yourself and repeating past patterns. Your sense of wanting to do what will maintain balance and harmony within yourself and in your life, and maybe acting with character and integrity, you are taking action from a place of love, not to take reckless action, but to educate yourself maybe about people who either how you used your emotions manipulatively in the past or how other people tried to emotionally manipulate you, maybe tried to stop you from moving forward in your life so they could indulge in a relationship with you. But they could have been acting more, that is just more immature. You might have someone coming across your path soon who tries to tempt you to, Three of Cups can talk about reuniting. They see you as, I don't know, the just person now or the loving person now. And I don't know, if they previously didn't move forward with you before, well, they could have been operating more out of pride and ego and creating an illusion, and maybe where they try to manipulate people to be in a relationship with them and do things the way they want to relate, the way they like a relationship being done, which can be in shadowy Aries energy, more about their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, or them being kind of bossy and controlling. For some of them, maybe that didn't work out. It was just an illusion. Anyway, some people could try to stop you right now. So you have to listen to your intuition about people who might come into your life. Are they coming from a place of love, or are they trying to emotionally manipulate you? Out of love for yourself, take action in love and respect for yourself. Maintain your balance. Do not take impulsive, reckless action. And then tell us about the shield card. Well, because if you know some people are still defensive and guarded, and it's like, this is over. Been there, done that. If people aren't open and honest and authentic, and they just want to come in to indulge in a relationship with me, no, I'm not interested. So we have the Death card, the King of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Hangman, the Two of Swords, the Sun, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords, because of the Knight of Wands. You're going to have your sword up. There could be someone who could have left a relationship with you before with the Death card because they wanted to go be a player. Or they either wanted to go take action towards someone who had money, or they wanted to make their life about money and focus more on money and materialism and status and image. That was the most important thing to them. But then they could have had mental conflict, either because the person they went to go get in a relationship with, for some of them, maybe a Pisces or someone else, shadowy Pisces, and the Hangman energy can be someone else who also operates from pride and ego. So we could have someone in the King of Pentacles, like I'm king of the world, ego, got in a relationship with someone else who operates from ego, because shadowy Five of Swords could be people who want to win at all costs. And it's all about them looking like the shining star in the world. They don't care who gets hurt. But the person they went to go get in a relationship with either wasn't sure that they wanted to come together in a long-term relationship with them, maybe because they felt that if they worked with this person, they'd have to put an end to their player ways, or they could have been unsure about having a new beginning with this person and moving forward with it, because maybe they did listen to their intuition and they thought, if this person would end a relationship with someone else to go be a player and maybe hides that they operate more from pride and ego and selfishness and greed and illusion, do I really want to work with them? I think it'll just end up in heartbreak. So now the person might be coming back towards you. That relationship didn't work out. Or if you left one relationship, you move forward in a different relationship, trying to listen to your intuition, pay attention to the details. If you soon get the impression that the new people that you're in friendship, relationship, or workplace with are kind of seeming to have a little bit of a player energy, where they're maybe not willing to be your partner, maybe don't seem to be putting in work and effort to grow and mature this relationship because they have inner conflict about looking at life from different perspectives. And Pisces energy can be about, do I have hope and faith and belief and love, or am I going to put an end to putting work and effort into growing and maturing this relationship because I have my own fears and insecurities that I'm dealing with? Or maybe you're dealing with that, or someone might be tempted to kind of repeat some poor past patterns and be tempted to not listen to their intuition, that this could be a very warm, giving, loving relationship. But if you know that if people get caught up in their fear, their insecurity, their pride, their ego, then they actually put work and effort into sabotaging the relationship. You're either willing to put in work and effort to be open and honest and loving, or you're kind of wanting to just indulge in the relationship and just be a player, or end the relationship to just go indulge in a relationship with someone else, because it would require you to see yourself and the world around you differently than you have been, and to listen to your intuition and choose to have some hope and faith and belief and be brave to temper your fears and insecurities and put in work and effort to stay balanced between your mind and your heart, so you don't get caught up in your fears and your insecurities or your more immature, indulgent, lustful nature. You know, sometimes people can get in a relationship. It's like, wow, this relationship's going great. Wow, I wonder if I can take this on the road. You know, maybe I can get in this relationship with anybody. Well, when you have a unique connection with people, it isn't something you should take lightly. But we can let our fears, or we can let our immaturity, and the divine knows the truth about people and where they're at. So you keep listening to your intuition. There might be someone who used to be a marriage partner to you, because the King and Queen of Pentacles is the only married suit of the deck. You might have to protect yourself against someone from your past that put an end to being a partner to you because they wanted to go play. They had mental conflict about all this stuff and seeing things from other people's perspective or seeing life differently. And if they knew someone in their past who'd experienced maybe an end to a relationship they were in, and they could have been heartbroken, and they were willing to play, a person you were in a relationship with could have looked back to that person and said, that person has money and materialism. If I go get in a relationship with them, then I don't have to see life differently, and I don't have to make my life about love and hope and faith and belief, and hope that if I'm in a relationship with loving people that I'll have all the stability and security I want. It causes me inner conflict. I feel stuck. Which one should I do? Should I pick this one? Should I pick that one? Should I go get in a relationship where I kind of use my sexuality as the foundation of a relationship? Or is it love and being bold and brave? If you know someone who put an end to being your partner and they decided to end a relationship with you and decided it was all about them and they wanted to win at all costs and they didn't care who got hurt, and they decided to operate out of pride and ego and be in denial that they were operating out of ego. Could have even, some people that are in shadow energy don't like it. If they are someone who likes to live their life more from pride and ego and image and status, and they think you should stay in a relationship with them because of those reasons, because they would stay in a relationship because of those reasons, the fact that you are bold and brave and confident, put work and effort to be more just and fair and balanced within yourself, they just present themselves as being that way to the world, but they're not. They're really kind of driven more by selfishness and greed or something, or immaturity. It can almost make them happy to betray you and go take that action, because you were kind of shining bright, and it kind of maybe made them feel bad that they do live more from their mind than their heart. And if you know someone maybe seemed to be happy that they betrayed you, because if they had been in a relationship with you and you were listening to your intuition and you have hope and faith and belief in yourself, and you wanted to be in more authentic, loving, nurturing relationships where people put in work and effort to look at life as an adventure, to stay balanced between their mind and their heart, and they live more from their mind and their heart and maybe their ego and their defensiveness, yeah, kind of made them feel stuck in a way being in a relationship with you, because in order to keep moving forward with you, they would have had to see life differently than they'd been seeing it, and that could have caused them some mental conflict. and maybe got them up in their ego some. Maybe they would have to see the truth about that living a life more from ego and status and image and facade is what makes them happy. And that, pride comes before the fall, to realize that maybe they were kind of a stubborn or prideful or kind of more ego driven person, but they might present themselves as like, oh no, I'm very stable and grounded. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not prideful. But they kind of are. Some people don't want to see the truth of that. And so that's why the divine knows their heart. And that's why the divine knew they weren't ready to move forward with you. And lo and behold, who pops up in their life? But either they went to align with their more worldly nature than their more loving nature, their more non-life-giving energy than their life-giving energy, and decided to align with their more worldly nature if it wasn't them going and getting in another job. Basically, the divine has already shown you what inspires and motivates them. It's not growing and maturing themselves and seeing life differently, taking bold creative action in their life. It's more about looking like a shining star in the world. People looking up to and admiring them because they have a certain amount of wealth or status. Love isn't the biggest priority on their list, basically, is what it's saying. So if the divine has already shown you that, you might want to have, and maybe this whole thing is just that you, well, as you're moving forward, they're moving forward presenting an illusion. You're moving forward authentically being those things. They might want to get back in a relationship with you because you do seem basically like you're the one winning. And oops, I had some cards fall on the deck floor. So since you're the one who looks like you're winning, and that really is maybe the most important thing to them, is who looks like they're winning at the moment. And maybe when they were in a relationship with you before, they didn't know if it would look as financially or societally wise as great as a relationship. So they could have went to go get in a different relationship with someone else. And they definitely could have thought it was in shadowy energy. They went to go have a victory with someone else, but the moon can mean, we either see the truth or we have lessons to learn, and there's things hidden in our subconscious about why we do what we do, and we have lessons to learn that we haven't learned yet. Someone wasn't reading the fine print. They thought, I can go do whatever I want, kind of operate pride and ego, confuse everyone about kind of like the true intention of my motivations, that I maybe am more about myself and my wants and needs and lusts and greed, and everybody will be emotionally confused about it, and then nobody will know the truth. But maybe for some of you that had someone do that in your life, pretty soon justice will be served. Maybe because people will see the truth about the people who present themselves as a loving family person, but who's really kind of a player who uses their emotions manipulatively in relationships to get what they want. And they think it's just and fair for them to do that. And people might start to become defensive to people like that in the world and put an end to viewing this person as someone who they view as being kind of like successful in the world, because maybe how this person's actions didn't seem to square with their persona. And it caused people mental conflict, and they started to look at things differently about, because we see it in the newspaper all the time, right? Like Harvey Weinstein and whatever, people who abuse their power, basically, you know, people who present themselves as being one way, but behind the scenes and behind closed doors, I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm just saying, some people aren't who they present themselves to be. And you can fool some of the people some of the time, but some people keep repeating that pattern over and over, like, no, I don't have to grow. No, I don't have to change. No, I can just keep doing it the way I've done it. People buy into my illusion. And if you don't buy my illusion, I'll just go take my illusion on the road to the next person. And they think it can last into infinity, but eventually the truth comes to light. And other people might start to listen to their intuition about people who have acted in a kind of a shadowy manner, because the people who move forward in truth and love and being bold and creative, those people are the ones who truly seem to be being authentic and putting in work and effort to grow and change and be balanced. And it kind of sheds a light on the people who put work and effort into sabotaging other people because they wanted to go be indulgent. So what is the kerosene about? The World card and the Fool. Because of the Page of Cups. As people who have hope and faith and belief in themselves and live their life with character and integrity, it kind of shines a light on the people who aren't acting with character and integrity, who aren't being honest, who aren't being truthful, who are trying to present an illusion to the world and hide the truth and emotionally confuse people about the truth. That'll come to an end. You're actually going on a new journey, and you've come to peace with the past, where you've wished it peace. You've let it go. The other people, we move forward in life when we've reconciled ourselves with the past and our past pain and heartbreak that can make us act out of fear and insecurity and pride and ego and immaturity. And it might really maybe be upsetting for some people in the world who see that you're moving on in your life, that you've closed out that chapter in your life and you're going on a new journey, and you wish them peace, because they can tempt you to keep repeating that pattern with them, because they don't learn lessons, and they're going to keep taking a risk to keep aligning with the world and kind of indulging their more immature nature and continuing to emotionally invest in the world, and kind of might blow up on them. Tell us about the Master card here. So the Master card, if I didn't read it already, it says discipline, working, smart, focus, structure, teaching, conquer. Oh, Page of Cups again. That's true mastery in life, is being able to offer peace to the past, temper your ego about the past. We wish everybody in our past lives growing up as we grew up would have been loving and kind and encouraging and supportive. But everybody has their own life journey and lessons to learn, and layers of their fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs and all those things to shed. And when we reconcile ourselves to the past, that we look at anybody in the world, we don't know all their background, even like with our moms, our dads, our siblings, whatever, we don't know what goes on in people's own heads. We don't know all the things that they had to deal with in their life. And it just gets to be, what? Everybody was where they were at. I'm not taking the fact that some people could have been unjust, unfair, unloving, unkind, or whatever. it doesn't reflect anything about my worth and value. I don't control their free will decisions, just like if I walk outside now and see a neighbor or a kid at a gas station or a kid, an adult, doesn't matter, I don't control anyone. If I did, I'd have them be loving and kind, but I don't. Everybody is battling the spiritual warfare within themselves, and at times people are winning the battle and they're being friendly and just and fair and encouraging and supportive, and sometimes people aren't winning the battle within themselves, and as they don't love and believe in themselves and don't trust and believe in others and have their own things that they're dealing with, it's probably going to be reflected in their behavior. And it's like, you know what? I let it go. I'm looking to the future. If I learn the lesson I was meant to learn, that I don't control other people, I don't have to be in my ego, I don't have to have everybody in the world be nice to me or like me or love me or whatever. It was what it was. I wish it peace. I'm going to look to the future and what can be. And it's all about learning lessons in life. And because you have mastered that and tempered a level of your shadow nature that some other people in your life haven't, those people are going to have to go back to repeat some patterns of relationship until they learn to stand up for themselves. Because I think that is kind of what life is all about, is for us to get in these relationships with different people, to get clear about what their truth is, what they're motivated by, what they're inspired by, how they view relationships versus how we do. And for us to stand up and say, I believe in myself. I am not going to give up on my dreams and fighting for the things I believe in. I'm not going to keep staying in a relationship or a job or a friendship group or whatever because of pride and ego, when it's an illusion. It might look like people are exchanging time, energy, and effort with me, hugs and kisses, but maybe it's a more transactional relationship. Well, I'll give you this and you give me that. And everybody stays in it because it looks good by worldly standards, but everybody's really fearful and insecure and overwhelmed. That's no way to live your life. We're meant to be free. We're meant to see the truth that we could be staying in situations that are an illusion for how it looks to the world. Are we really willing to give up our dreams because we're overwhelmed about standing up for ourselves, fighting for what we believe in, willing to put in the work and effort to keep investing in what we believe can be? What we believe can be can come into reality. Look at all the things that have been brought into reality in the last 10,000 years. All the things that have come into existence since caveman day did not magically appear at a store and people just went and bought it. People listened to their intuition. They put work and effort into what they believed was possible, and the divine helps us bring it into reality. But we have to be willing to invest. We have to be willing to walk away from our fears and insecurities and our illusions and trust our intuition, get out of our ego, and take some creative, bold action in our life to maintain our own balance and take action in love and take that bold, brave, confident action again. And if you haven't been doing that, you will be doing that. And maybe as you're moving forward in life, maybe you will have someone new come into your life because they see that you are balanced in love. And maybe someone who's mature will offer you, male or female, will offer you a cup because they want to be in a relationship with you, or take creative action with you if it's work, whatever. And you will have to listen to your intuition. Is this person operating from love? Or are they just trying to emotionally manipulate me and they're immature and indulgent? And the people that you find to be immature and indulgent, they might look good by worldly standards, but you might end things with them. because you've seen life from a higher perspective. We have people come into our life all the time that try to tempt us by things of the world. Are we going to get in a relationship because of people presenting themselves a certain way and ignore our intuition? Because they look stable and grounded, are we going to be tempted to work with them to make a decision more from our mind than our heart and give up on our dreams? Are we going to give in to our more lustful, passionate nature? Or do we know if we get in a relationship with someone like that, we're going to feel stuck and it's going to cause us a lot of mental conflict because our intuition was telling us to have hope and faith and belief in our dreams and keep putting in work and effort to stay balanced within ourselves to get the justice we deserve. Be bold, be brave, be confident. Look at life as an adventure to be lived. Have good boundaries against yourself. Do not repeat a pattern of relationship that you've already been in. Been there, done that. I wish you peace, but I'm going on a new journey where people come from that pure, innocent, hopeful, believing nature because they're strong, not because, they're not operating out of ego and defensiveness. If people haven't tempered their pride and ego and their emotional defensive, game over. I'm going on a new journey. So, there you go, Virgo energies of the world. I wish you peace, love, and joy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.